Lacey Township High School football coach Lou Vircillo has become one of the most successful head football coaches in the history of the Shore Conference. He'll be able to add to his legacy in 2020 as he closes in on 300 wins in his 40th season coaching the Lions. It all began in 1969 when Lou Vircillo played and later graduated from Tarkio College in Missouri, where he would then work as an assistant for the program. From 1972 until 1974, Vircillo was an assistant football coach at Red Bank Catholic, and a season later, he became the offensive coordinator for a Red Bank regional team who won the Central Jersey Group II championship. Following that season, Vircillo was named their head coach, a post he remained in through the 1980 season. Then came something new as Vircillo was hired as the first head football coach at Lacey High School with the backing of the school and the community.
In '81, we sat together with the Board of Education and administration, and we talked about this dream of building a school system. And football was very important to them, and I could see that. And for that very reason, I decided to leave Red Bank as a head coach and take something that was brand new and try to develop it when there wasn't very much coming here, because we had part of the athletes from Central. We didn't have starters from Central, but we had a varsity program right away. So that was a challenge, and we were able to do it. We were able to develop the kids and develop the traditions and build upon it.
Coach Vircillo saw success right away as the Lacey Lions won their first of 13 conference titles in 1982. They did so again in 1988 and '89, where they went on to win the program's first two state sectional championships and won 21 of 22 consecutive games along the way. Lacey came close to winning state titles again in 1992 and '93, but fell short in the championship games. Coach Vircillo led the Lions to the team's third and fourth state sectional titles in 2006 and 2010.
We had a great deal of talent. We had depth. The chemistry is always a very important thing in high school football, but actually in every level of football. Chemistry is probably the most important thing. So from chemistry, you develop very fine leaders, and from that, you waste little time, and you're always improving. And so I would say the consistency of play, because of the amount of kids that go after it correctly, and don't waste any time.
Whether it's a season following a championship or a season that ends in disappointing fashion, the way Coach Vircillo prepares for the following season has never changed. Take it a day at a time, improve yourself, and help the team improve with less focus on who you're playing and when. Lacey players not only learn what it takes to be a better teammate and football player, but Coach Vircillo instills in them important life lessons.
We ask them to be better family people, number one. Be good at home, good to your parents and things like that. And it kind of starts there. And then from there, we ask them to be very good in the classroom and be a good citizen in the classroom and do what they're, do everything they're responsible for, and do it diligently. And that usually, if they do that, that usually carries over to a football field, and we find our best players are those young men that do things right at home and do things right in the classroom.
Some of those players, including Chris D'Amico, Sean McAndrew, Warren Smith, and Mike Stupiello currently, have come back to Lacey over the years to coach and teach the current generation of Lions. It means a great deal to Coach Vircillo.
I've always wanted to be able to see the boys come back if they were going to get into education or coaching and kind of take over the program. And we're getting to the point where we have quite a few of the players coming back and coaching nowadays. In the beginning, the first half of the 40 years, not too many kids went into coaching. In the latter half, we have a few. So it's been fun.
Lacey has had many athletes play for Coach Vircillo over the last 40 years who have gone on to play in college and even at the professional level.
In thinking about them and thinking about some of the more stellar athletes that went on to college and play. Obviously here we had one professional, one Arena League player, and about 3 others that made football pro camps. Those are pretty lofty accomplishments. We've had, usually most of our kids are like, if they play collegiate football, they're like Division III football players. But we've had a good share of Division II and some 1AA players.
1990 graduate Keith Elias is the Lacey Lion who went on to play in the NFL. He was an All-American running back in high school under Coach Vircillo and again at Princeton University. Elias signed with the New York Giants as an undrafted free agent ahead of the 1994 season, where he played for 3 years before heading to Indianapolis in 1998 to play 2 seasons with the Colts, and then on to the XFL in 2001, where he played for the New York, New Jersey Hitmen. His relationship with Coach Vircillo began while he was playing Pop Warner.
He pulled that in his eye. He would always do this thing. He'd go, and I said, "What is that?" He said he has the eye for potential. And he said to me, though, potential is both a good and bad word. This is what he said. He said, because potential has no real value. It's what you do with potential that creates the value.
The potential that Coach Vircillo saw in the young Keith Elias led to a successful high school career on the field, which led to college football and playing in the NFL.
He taught me how to work out. He gave me my first workout plan. He taught me how to run the football. When everybody was saying run to daylight, he would say, don't run to daylight. Daylight's going to close real fast on those upper levels. It's you run to your downfield help. You find that wide receiver. You find that guard. You get to his back. Man, and that changed how I ran the ball. And that made 4-yard runs become 40 and 80-yard runs.
Coach Vircillo has also had a life-changing impact over the years on who his players become off the field.
He taught me how to care about other people. He coached me how to do interviews. He coached me on how to take care of my teammates. He coached me on what it was like to treat a woman the right way. You know, next to my father, he had the most profound impact on me becoming the man that I am today. He was the first person that introduced me to the idea that there was a God who absolutely personally loved me and cared about me. And I'm not unique. Every guy you'll talk to has come through these halls has had that Coach V conversation about their future, about who they are as a man, about their character, about their integrity. And that's what being a leader, being a Lion is really all about.
The Lacey Lions have had many successful teams over the years, and Elias explains it's because players continue to buy into Coach Vircillo's program built on a core value of beliefs of playing football the right way.
Work hard. Loyalty. Right? You have my back, I have yours. Sacrificing your own personal wants and desires for the greater good of the team. That's how you build a football team. Then when you put onto that blocking and tackling, you can run any system, right? And then now I say that not to diminish that part of his genius, because I have been at games where at halftime you're like, and Lacey may be losing by a touchdown or maybe up by 3 points, and at halftime I'll look to my brothers and say, this thing's over. Now, what are you talking about, right? And, well, my brothers know, so they're like, yeah, I know. And they'll say, because we know he's coming out in that second half with innovation that's going to knock the other team on their butt, right? He has a way of adapting the plan and making moves on the run that gives his team an amazing advantage. But that only works because they believe in the fundamentals, they believe in the core, they believe in the principles of integrity and character, and all of that carries them for it to be so successful.
In his more than 4 decades of being a head coach, Lou Vircillo has totaled 294 wins and is closing in on a milestone number heading into the 2020 season, trailing only the legendary Warren Wolf, who had 364 victories across 51 seasons at Brick and 1 season at Lakewood for the most wins in the Shore Conference. For Coach Vircillo, 300 wins is just a number. What matters more to him is all the teams he's been able to coach over the years and the time they spend together on the field.
People on the outside talk about this a lot more than I do. To be quite honest, I just cherish the fact that we can come out here and practice.
There have been several honors presented to Coach Vircillo over the years, including in 2012 when he was inducted into the Shore Football Coaches Foundation Hall of Fame, and in 2018 when he received the New Jersey Football Coaches Association's Ray McCran Lifetime Achievement Award. When the Hall of Famer became a football coach more than 40 years ago, his focus was on his current situation at Red Bank Catholic, then Red Bank Regional, and then Lacey, with no end in sight.
Every place I've been, I've thought of it as being there forever. You know, so I really never thought about how long I wanted to coach or any of that. I just go to work every day and coach kids.
So how long does Coach Vircillo want to keep coaching?
That's like asking me, how long do I want to live? All right, so I personally do not think about that at all. Does it ever enter my mind? Sure. You have flashes of and moments of, this is it, or that kind of thing. But for me, it's only been flashes of that. So I really enjoy getting up and going to a field and working with kids.
Coach Vircillo still enjoys driving to practice, heading to games, and being there with his team on the sidelines, instructing them on how to get better and making the tough calls with the game on the line.
Those moments have been precious to me, like I would believe any moment in anyone else's life. And I've been happy to be able to work with athletes and see them do well in life. As most coaches, we want to see the young men that we teach and coach do well in life and make the right choices and that type of thing. So I've been blessed to be able to do it. And if God willing, it's meant to be that I continue, then I continue. And if not, well, then I don't. So it's day to day.
One of Coach Vircillo's proudest accomplishments outside of coaching was starting up the Lacey Football Foundation, which over the years has raised thousands of dollars for the football program in school, including for football equipment, player equipment, technology, and the weight room. All things and more that will add to his legacy for years to come. At Lacey Township High School, I'm Vin Ebenau for the Shore Sports Network.